Now, what they're asking us to do is find the sum. But what we notice in this one is the sum in this example is a finite series. So there's a different formula that we're going to apply for the sum of a finite series. And the sum for that is a sub 1 times 1 minus r raised to the n all over 1 minus r. All right? So in this case, what we need to do is obviously we need to determine what a sub 1 is. We also need to go ahead and determine what our n is going to be. Well, our a sub 1, remember the formula for a geometric series? A sub n equals a sub 1 times r raised to the n, right? So a sub 1 is 2. So that equals 2 times 1 minus r, which in this case is negative 1/4, raised to the n. Now remember to determine n, what we do is take our upper limit, subtract it from our lower limit, the start or the end and the start. So 40 minus 0 is 40, and then we add 1, correct? Because think of it this way. Let's say this was 3, and that was n equals 0, and my formula was 2n. Then what we're doing is 2 times 0 plus 2 times 1 plus 2 times 2 plus 2 times 3. So how many times am I doing that? 4 times, right? So n would equal 4, right? The total number of terms you're doing that would be 4. So therefore, in this case, I'm going to raise that to the 41st power over 1 minus negative 1/4. Anybody have any questions so far with that? All right. Now, I need to take 1/4, raise it to the 41st power. When I did that, I got like 2.6 or something like that times 10 to the negative 25th, meaning there's 24 zeros before I actually get to my some terms. So therefore, that's very, very close to 1. When I plug that into the calculator and I add that to so it's pretty much 0. When I add it to 1, my calculator converges that over to 1. All right? When you add that over to 1, it's such a small number. With 24 zeros, it converges it automatically over to 1. Therefore, I have 2 over this. Adding to 1 is just going to give me 1, because that number pretty much is over the 0. This becomes 5/4. Now, to get rid of the fraction in the bottom, Kobe, to get rid of the fraction on the bottom, what I do is I multiply by the reciprocal on the top and the bottom. That obviously multiplies the 1. I just multiply now 4 over 5 times 1 times 2, which equals 8/5, which if you want to reduce that down to a fraction, or I'm sorry, a decimal, is 1.6, which is your final solution. I'd prefer you leave it as a fraction, by the way.